Today I am going to show you how I made this fire pit made of an expansion vessel. It was a fun job to do. It was my first big welding project, but it was fairly easy. I'll show you the steps I took. Maybe you can make one yourself. We start today's build off with making the template for the door of the fire pit. We cut it out of cardboard and trace it onto the vessel. Next, we take an angle grinder with a cutting disc to cut out the door. Next, you can see me draw a perfect circle, about the size of the pipe which will go on top. Draw a square in the circle and cut it out with the angle grinder. Inside the vessel you will find a rubber membrane, which you will have to cut out. With a flap disc on the angle grinder, clean up the paint on where the pipe will go onto the vessel. Round over the edge of the pipe as well. This ensures you will have a nice open line to place your welds. Place the pipe on the vessel and check if both the vessel and the pipe are level. As you know, I am a woodworker, but I am always willing to learn new things. This is my first solo welding adventure, and I make some mistakes along the way. Please forgive me. If you appreciate this video, please consider subscribing and giving it a thumbs up. After a while, I got a hang of it, and I welded the pipe to the vessel. Trace the outline of the door on a piece of cardboard. Cut it out and trace the line on a piece of wood. Cut along the line and you will have a template in which you can form the hinges to the shape of the vessel. Trace the hinges onto the vessel and the door. Mark the holes and drill them out. With the flap disc, clean up the part where the hinges will go. You cannot weld straight onto the paint. Secure the hinges with some nuts and bolts. The nuts and bolts will keep the door in place while welding. Next, it's onto the lever. I made this of a scrap piece of steel and I grinded it to the desired shape. Clean it up with a file and a flap disc on the angle grinder. In the vise, we pound the lever until it has the shape of the vessel, which we check in the template we made earlier. Trace it onto the door and the vessel and grind it clean. Drill the holes and add some longer bolts and nuts. I used a washer on the pin to make sure the lever wouldn't slip off. With the angle grinder we cut off the excess of the bolts. Weld the hinge to the door and the vessel, and it will never come off again. Oops, another welding mistake. Weld the bolts to the nuts. And be careful you don't start a fire. Next, we are going to clean the sharp edges with the flap disc on the angle grinder. I thought this would be a badass way to start a fire, but I would strongly advise you to do this the safest way possible with some fire paste or pieces of paper. Hey, can I ask you for a favor? Could you subscribe to my channel? Make sure to hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload new content. Hit the like button as well while you're at it. Now it's time to let the fire pit burn. Letting it burn overnight will make the paint come loose and expose the steel. When the vessel gets very hot, the paint will blister and come off the vessel. Let the fire pit rest for a couple of days outside and it will take on some rust and give it that steampunk look. I hope you enjoyed this video. So that's it for today's build.